we know each other because we have the same mentor. So that's Mr. Byron Nelson. He happens to also be in LA, closer to you. And what's funny is I just sent him a video. So we had like a record-breaking snowstorm the other day. Like you couldn't leave your parking lot. There was that much snow. Like the snow was higher than the car. So you couldn't, like, just physically, even if you have good tires, you can't go through a snowbank, which is the road. So I took a video and I sent it to, I do this like every few months, sent it to Mr. Nelson. I said, are you sure you don't want to come visit? You don't want to come vacation up in Ottawa, Canada? And he put, and you can hear his voice in this. Sure. He just texted, "Oh, hell no, but I love you to the moon and back." That was his response. So
I feel the same.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mr. Nelson, business mogul, he actually was just awarded with the most played episode of this podcast in 2021. I believe we had something like 21 guests. He finished #1 most played, most popular. I think that was episode number 18. So if anyone wants to go back and check that out. And we know each other from we're both working with him. So building businesses globally in the network marketing space. And I actually have some kind words from Mr. Nelson. So I reached out and you're his personal trainer, right? You're his fitness guru. You're all these different things. And we'll dive into all those things. But he says, Dom is an unshakable character and one of the most reliable hearts on the planet. So that's from Mr. Byron Nelson. So how does it feel getting some kind words from such an iconic figure?
It's awesome. And, that's one thing I've always prided myself on is a man of character, and just to show up and do what I told you I was going to do. And that's one thing that, we bonded with right away when we met. He came into 6.5, close to 7 years ago now to train with me. He actually came into my gym in the beginning with a partner and did a little workout on his own, was gone for a while. And then 6 months later, he came back, and I knew nothing about the man other than just his energy, who he was. And we just bonded instantly. I still had no clue what the man did for 6 months until I talked to one of my great college friends that I played football with and was a huge network marketer. And I'm like, I think I trained someone, in your industry. He's like, who's that? I'm like, Byron Nelson. Have you ever heard of him? He's like, Dom, there's no way you train Byron Nelson. I'm like, 6'4" black dude. He's like, he goes, that's him. And I'm like, he's like, Dom, he's a freaking legend. He's an icon in the industry, not just with his company, but an entire industry of network marketing. I'm like, I could see that. I mean, I knew he was a motivational speaker. He traveled, do some things, with some very top name people. And I just, again, when I connect with a person, I connect with their soul. I connect with who they are as a person and as a soul first. After that, once I find out what they do and who they are, then I'll dive in. I never ask first because it doesn't matter. I really don't care. Money doesn't motivate me in that way. Money doesn't, make me see people different. I've met a lot of people that have $0 and they're most amazing people on the planet. I've met people that have all the money in the world and they're the biggest, not nice person.
Yeah.
Is this PG? What are we doing? PG-13?
You can drop in a few. To get a point across, if you need some vulgarity, you can do that if needed.
I'll keep it as clean as possible. But back to that, just he's been an inspiration in my life and someone like a big brother, but also someone who's way more than that, someone who stretched my vision like no other. For anyone on here that knows Mr. Byron Nelson or Byron or whatever you call him, he is someone you want in your corner and in your life. And I feel, it was a God moment in my life when he came in. And I believe it was a God moment in his life when I came into his life, because as a personal trainer, people get very intimate with you very fast. And it's not, people are like, oh, you're like a barber or like a hairdresser or whatever. They tell you everything. I'm like, yes, but a barber or hairdresser, people typically go 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. I'm with people, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week. And, you know, they really lean on me. And once they really understand, you know, a quote from Mr. Nelson, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. And that's been always, you know, been a foundation of who I am. I really do care. I really do want to change people's lives for the better, because the information that I have and that I've been equipped with, and then keep getting, you know, keep expanding on that knowledge base, can help a person. And I've watched it time and time again. And, you know, it's like, again, like our industry of network marketing, when you take someone on and they actually do what you ask them to do or tell them to do to win, and they do it and then they win, there's no better feeling than when you help someone out and make them, you know, feel better. So the same thing with the health and wellness. It's when you give them the prescription of what they need to do, and you write it out for them, and then they do it and they come back and they're smiling ear to ear because they feel better. The weight is one thing, you know, losing weight or gaining weight, depending on what people are looking to do. Obviously, most are looking to lose weight. It's not just the weight. I always ask them, how do you feel? Do you feel better? Yeah. Do more of that. Why would you not? And, you know, that's one thing that he had taught me from day one, is just, you know, it's a journey. It's you know, not everyone's going to do what you ask them to do. That's okay. That's on them, not on you. As long as you stay true to who you are and you give them your best and you show up for them every time, you know, and that's the thing. It's showing up for that person, and it's not about you. It's about them. Not everyone's going to do it the way that you hope and want. It's their journey. And, you know, you just have to be there all along the way and keep helping them up, picking them up. So, yeah, we'll talk about him more throughout this. I know it's going to come up, but
yeah, he just has his hand kind of on everything, you know. If he's in your life, I remember Mr. Nelson flying from LA to be a keynote speaker at one of my events around the Toronto area. And I remember him saying, you know, when you meet him, it's like you might like him or you might not like him, but you will always remember him. That's his thing, is kind of just to be memorable more than anything. You'll always remember this handsome 6'4" black dude that made you feel something, whether it was good or bad, or he rubs you the wrong way or the right way. I thought that
absolutely
was
absolutely. And, you know, in getting to know him very fast, like I said, we fell in love with each other as souls before I knew who he was, or who he knew who I was, but connecting on so many levels right from the get-go. I mean, it was, you know, relationships, it was religion, it was business, it was, you know, just the way that we carried ourselves. It was actually one of the biggest things was he's a mama's boy. And I know you are. I am just, I connect with people who have a strong relationship with their mother, and it's something about it. I don't know. But we connected on that level. Every level, it was just amazing to see a person who's been, you know, who's so strong in so many areas. And like you said, who's memorable. Like when he came in the gym the very first time, I didn't speak to him, but you could feel his energy. Yeah, I mean, I spoke to him, I said hello, whatever, but it was like you could just feel his energy, his laugh, his character, you know, going around saying hello to every single person in the gym, just, you know, making sure everybody, hey, can I get you? Do you need anything? Like, I'm going to the store real quick to get some water. Anybody need anything? You know, it's the little things, you know, that people remember the most, and how you make someone feel is right up there at the top.
Absolutely. So you have kind of a mission statement you live by. So your goal is to help everyone be the best version of themselves, and you help them achieve that through your calm and effective approach to fitness. Why is being calm important? Sometimes you see those crazy people are like, give me 50, you do it, like they're just too much. Why do you think your demeanor, that calm, supportive energy, how do you think that that's helped you along the way to achieve your level of success in that industry?
Yeah, it's, you know, because you're not always going to have someone there screaming down your screaming in your ear, give me 5 more, 10 more, or come on, well, you can do more, you can do more. It's so from the very beginning, I knew that, people they need more of the calm, like demeanor of like, okay, no, I'm really here to help you. I want to hear, and it's the other part too, is the listening part. People want to be heard, and every single person is different, when they come into, my space. I don't know their background. Like I said, with Byron, I didn't know anything about him. I just knew that he came to me for help. He had strict goals that he wanted to achieve. And, I laid it out there for him to what it's going to take. And I told him, I'm not a cheerleader. I'm not someone who's going to, I'm not texting you throughout the day to find out what you're eating or what you've done since you've last seen me. But when I see you tomorrow, I'm going to ask you, what'd you eat? How much cardio did you do? Did you do anything else? What else happened in your day to get you closer to that goal? And I think it really comes back, Joel, is the quarterback in me. So I've been a quarterback since I was about 10 years old, all the way through college. So you have to have that demeanor of, the calm, but still, you have to bring out that fire when you need to. But if you're always fire and you're always on, you burn out. So I knew that if I was going to do this forever, and really impact people's lives and really be that difference, that I would burn out, so, and it's more, I've always looked at things as what you can do for life, not just right now, but can you sustain what you're doing for the rest of your life? If you can't, then you need to reevaluate what you're doing, or I call it, and then what? Okay, that's cool. You're doing this now. And then what? So there's whether it's P90X or CrossFit or
insanity or any of those
insanity, the super high intense, anything that you're doing in life, how long can you sustain that? And if you have a plan for what's next, that's cool. But if not, start thinking about what's next. These crazy diets, the cookie diet, the 500 calorie diet, the starvation diet, the water, whatever.
The all meat diet, the
all meat diet,
paleo, the keto,
It's just what are you going to do after you're done doing that? Because you can't sustain that. Can't say you can't, most can't, or you're going to get hurt, injured, and then you're going to be right back to where you started or worse, because now you can't exercise. You're not thinking like, oh, I want to eat a salad now, when you're laid up and you're hurt and you're broken, and you want to have your comfort food. You want to go back to what you remember as a child, that made you feel good, and the cakes and the candies so it's more of the longevity approach, I guess.
So with all the people you've worked with, you've found that it's those that make it a lifestyle, that they make a decision that this is who I am, and the person that I am doesn't do those things or doesn't do them frequently, versus the diets, the crash, this right. And that.
Absolutely. It's, the one thing I've always coached is this is for now, do it for now. Like, I understand, you want ice cream after your dinner because you always had ice cream, for right now. No. Does that mean forever? No, it's when you can get it under control and you can have these things put back into your quote unquote diet. I don't like the word diet, because it shouldn't be a diet. It should be, like you said, a lifestyle change, something that you need to shift to, to have that life that you're looking to have, to be healthy for, as long as we have on this planet. It's all about how you feel and what you are, what you eat. And that's not just a cliche. That truly is, the longer I've been at this and the more that I've been around people, which is a lot of them, it's like, as soon as I look at them, I see them, I can tell how healthy they are. I already know what they eat. I know how much they exercise. I know whether they like it themselves or not. It's just like, It's that intuition that you start getting, but it's that all can be shifted with one thing that you said earlier, a decision. It's up to the person. If you make the decision, as we've been taught, the how-to comes. You know, you decide to get married, you don't know how it's going to happen. The how-to comes. You decide to go to college, you don't know how you're going to pay for it, what it's going to look like, where you're going to live. The how-to comes. You know, the same thing with fitness. You decide that, you know what, I'm going to be the healthiest version of myself going forward. That how-to shows up. And
yeah, there's nothing more powerful than a made up mind, right? It's making the decision, and then the world, the universe bends around that decision. It conspires in your favor.
It sure does. It sure does. And that's not, you know, I learned long ago too, you know, people always poo-poo these cliches, and, you know, that's the wrong thing to do. That just means you're not doing them. You should lean into those cliches and really focus on them and pay attention and do them, and your life will change, man. It's so true.
So Dom, we're good friends. So I have a confession. Is it okay? Can I confess something to you?
Of course.
It's deeply personal. So I woke up and did something this morning that is the least congruent thing I could do before speaking to you as a guest. I woke up and within 5 minutes, I ate some birthday cake. That happened this morning. Now, last night, there was a big UFC fight, and I went and watched it with 3 of my high school friends. And because it was my birthday the day before, they bought me a nice high class cake. And the day before that, my actual birthday, I had 3 other friends over. I drank too much. I literally drank once a year. I got a little schmammy pants. I got a little schmammered. Yesterday at the UFC thing, I wasn't feeling great, so I actually didn't eat any of the cake they got me. And this morning, I felt a little better. I dove right in, cake in and around my mouth. I then realized who my guest was today, and I thought, oh my God, what have I done? This is the worst way to go into this interview. So I had to share that with you. I had to get that off my chest. What is your response?
I'm glad you did. You know what? It's not about what you do some of the times. It's about what you do most of the time. And again, with my clients, I've never once told a client, you can't do that. You can't have that. What are you doing? No, that's on you. And it's not, we can't shame ourselves for that. I've had, you know, I don't eat healthy 100% of the time. I give myself that leeway. And it's really about what do you do next? So don't, you know, now that you've had that in the morning, if you wake up and you have cake, don't think the day's done. You know what I mean? Your body doesn't know days. It doesn't know weeks. It doesn't know months. It doesn't know years. It knows what you've done majority of the time, and it knows what's next. So when you go to lunch because you had the cake and you're like, you know what, I was going to have, you know, a piece of chicken and some vegetable, whatever it is. But since I already had the cake, I'm going to do the burger and fries, man. I already blew today. No, that's one of the biggest misconceptions people have, is they think because of what they've had that day that the day's done. So you can counteract that with, you know, your next few. I always say when I do something like that, or if I, you know, I don't even say mess up, but say I'm strict on a plan for my nutrition and I falter. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to string as many good meals in as I possibly can till I have something that's not on, you know, on my menu per se. And I have ice cream tonight. Okay. You know, that wasn't planned, but people beat themselves up way too much over that. And that's not the way to win at the game of fitness and nutrition and life. Then you throw in a few. If you don't do, you know, lunges or push-ups, do a couple, do 5. All right. So it's almost like, Joel, the, you know, when you put negativity out into the world, when you get cut off on the road, you're like, oh, Jesus, whatever. And then you call them a bad name or you get all frustrated. And then you're like, you know what? No, I pray for that person. Maybe he's in a rush. Maybe his wife's giving birth right now.
Yeah, someone's
Whatever
in
it
the
is.
hospital or something.
Whatever. So we don't know what that is, but if you put out, no, I love you. You're awesome. It's cool. So I always try to put out more positive than any of the negative that I put out to counteract, because that energy goes somewhere, whether you believe it or not. Energy is real, right? So it goes somewhere. So that's the same thing with yourself when you do have these, hiccups and you're like, man, why did I do that? But most people do. They spend their time, just wallowing in their uh, discomfort of my stomach. Oh, now I'm fat. Now they start using those negative power words that, no, it's just, that's one time that you ate. Over the next course of, God willing, you have another, 50, 60, 70 years on the planet. You just go to the next.
I've heard advice that if you're having a cheat day or a cheat meal or cheat snack, that you shouldn't be beating yourself up over it. If you're gonna have it anyways, you might as well like
enjoy it,
appreciate it, enjoy it, like bless the meal, have like an awareness of it. Oh man, this is delicious. Like, I know it's not healthy, but I've been good the last few days, and it's like, you're already going to eat it, so you shouldn't beat yourself up over it. And I guess the trick is to not let the one cheat snack or meal become a cheat day, or one cheat day become 3 cheat day. That's where people really falter, right? You lose 2 pounds over 7 days, and then you gain 3 pounds over a day or two. And it doesn't seem fair how hard it is to lose weight versus how easy it is to gain weight. Because I've heard it's you have to burn 3,500 calories to lose a pound. So it's like you need to have a deficit of 7,000 calories a week to lose 2 pounds. And it's like, I do that. Like, I set a plan, and then, I'll go to my parents for like some good meals and snacks, and I'll gain 3 pounds in one day. Like, it doesn't even make sense. It's not fair, Dom.
Yeah.
Who created the calories here? I mean, it doesn't seem right.
Well, it's one of those things too, that back to what you do most of the time versus some of the time.